Good morning to everyone. An academic counselor, Haradhan Biswas, and today MMPH-003. So today actually the session is for review for all the complete block 1 to block 4. There are 4 blocks. That all the blocks that to give you some review points, but basically all the important clips, important units that we have to discuss, and which are the important area that you have to see and try to emphasize on these areas. So it is in continuation to our earlier 4-5 sessions that where we have discussed in details every blocks, block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4. That based on these, where the gist of the try to summarize the things in these sessions. So now, as we know, the block 1 is a foundation of the human resource planning, and block 2 is a method of the human resource planning, and 3 is the measurements and contemporary trends for the issues in the place. This is the way. If you see broadly that the blocks that HRP, that human resource management, human resource planning, are basically bifurcated. First part, you see the block 1, basically the foundations. Means where you have to see the align, what is the job market, labor market, why the planning is important. That part normally you have seen. And basically the job analysis. Third unit is important for the block 1. At the same time, I'm trying to tell you which are the units are important from the exam point of view also, where the question are likely to be as per the pattern of the questions. Block 2 is the method of the resource plan, methods. Basically here all are different type of methods, approaches, demand analysis, supply analysis, that part are discussed. Mapping of the stock takings and formulating the HR plans. So here actually all the units are important. The short questions are here, most of the short questions are there. What is the demand analysis? What is the supply analysis? And this type of questions you may come across. And formulations, how to formulate the HR plan. Then block 3, measurement of the human resource planning, where the measurement parts. First we have seen the foundations. Then we have seen the methods. Now we have measurement, how to measure the planning decisions. So this there are 3 units which are discussed about the analytics. This is when you are question of measurement, definitely some analysis part is there, some mathematical hypothesis, regressions, and all these things are there. And methods, basically some of the tools are facilities, systems, so that we can measure the things. Like that one was your human resource audit. Through this audit, you can measure some of the things. Then another thing is the accounting. There are 2 things. Unit number 9 and 10 is important in particular pertaining these blocks. Now block 4, that is the last block, where the things are the trends. What are the globally, domestically, and globally? What are the trends is going on in the especially for HRP in umbrella of HRP. And see what are the challenges, issues, that part are basically in block 4. So questions are likely to be from block 4, definitely, because it's all are real-time things are there. So this is the way the things are. Let's see now a little bit highlight some of the points where we have seen the aligning, basically the alignment of the planning, how to align the things. There are 4 key steps that we have seen. The human resource supply, then you're forecasting the human resource demand, then forecasting the project labor, demand, supply, and supporting of the organizational forces. So all are basically the key points, key steps for the process purposes. Then there are different steps are there. When you are talking about the process, the different steps. First things, source supply, from the when the source is coming. Manpower requirement, forecasting the HR demand, what are the demand is. And during the demand, normally HR department are collecting the data, collecting the information from the others functional departments, and they have summarized the things to make a list and they can put in for the demand purposes. Balancing the projected labor demand and supply. You have to see the balance, what are the projection and supply, from where it will come. You have to internally you have to promote the employees or find the supply or maybe the transfer, or otherwise you go for the external through this appointment, I mean the interview and collection recruitment process. So all these things are to be balanced. Then important things are anticipate the future staffing needs. It is very important. You have to anticipate the things and accurately have to decide it, so that once the things has implemented, I mean the plan is sanctioned, then you cannot add it. I mean that's a difficult task. So that's why the anticipating the future staffing needs are important. Then attracting and the retaining the top talents. That you have to have some criteria, or you have to have some methodology, so that talent people can be retained. Then cost also involved. You have to make some budgetary cost. How much money will involve? What type of capital investment is required? That is also you have to estimate the things. Then diversity and inclusions, supporting what type of diversity and inclusion are required to meet the goal of the organizations. That also aligning the HR to the business strategy, because what are the strategy are there, that the corporate strategy or the corporation strategy, then you have to align the HR strategies also. It's not should be a standalone. You have to add on that it should be in the main frame, in the main strategy part. So that's why the business strategy, whatever it is there, it is a part of the HR also. You have to align these things. Then some steps involved in determining the future workforce needs, then identify future business goals, identify the future business goal, and then conduct your workforce analysis, develop your workforce plan, identify the recruitment strategies, develop the training and development programs. So all are basically your part of your. You have to align all these things. And some of the ways in which the HR planning can impact overall the success of the business. There are some of the recruitment and the retentions, talent development, performance management, succession planning. All are basically the impact of the overall success of the business. Means these things are important. Means these areas, business are for the to gain the success of the business. Now, when HR planning is not aligned, suppose for example it is not aligned, what will happen? Definitely it is insufficient of the resources. It may various challenges because of that. Talent shortages, lack of employee engagement, inactive training and development, poor succession planning. If all these things are exist, then it will be very troublesome. It will be a problem. You cannot align your HR plan. Or if all these things are absent, then also there are problems. So failing to align, suppose it does not fail, I mean, not aligned properly. It's not in your business strategy part or something in a scattered way. It is not really well mannered, not well planned. Then the number of risks will be increased. Negative consequences for the organizations included. For this, the misaligned priorities, then your poor employee engagement, insufficient use of the resources, increase the risks, and lack of innovation. So all are causes. Then critical steps, that is understand the business strategy, then your analysis the current workforce, existing current force, HR strategy and program, you have to develop the things, communicate the HR strategies, implement the monitor and strategies, continuously review and update the HR strategies. These are all of the critical steps for HR. Now, some of the goal and objectives to achieve this. Importance of the collaborations or the collaborative way, that is you have to you can achieve the things. Then collaboration between the HR professionals and the business leaders is essential for the successful alignment of the HR planning with the business strategies. So this is all are the part of your objectives and the goals. Challenges, that is basically the is trying to align the HR planning business. That is your lack of alignment, limited resources, resistance to change, lack of data and matrices, and external factors. All are the challenges. Then communication. How to overcoming the things. Now you have to, what are the challenges will be there, issues will be there. Now how to overcome? Thus you have to ensure that HR planning remains aligned with the overall business strategy. That you have to ensure it. Now for that, which are the things are required? Communications, collaborations is the main things. Now data analysis and your resource allocations, change management, conclusions. So all this part are strategically you have to do it to ensure that your plan is good and it is a comfortable. I mean, the overall business strategy are aligned. Then aligning HR planning and the business strategy for the competitive advantage. That is aligning HR planning with the business strategy can help the organizations gain a competitive advantage. So in several ways, what are the things? Attracting the retain. If your strategy is good, your business strategy is good, and HR is also aligned with very nicely, then definitely it will attract, the organization will be attracted by the talent people, increase the employee engagement, and improve the performance also. So innovations, flexibility, like this in conclusion. So you see these things are win-win situation if the HR is aligned very nicely with the business strategies. So this is the way the unit. Now second unit it has elaborate some of the your labor market dynamics. So labor market dynamics, what is the things? Their labor laws are there. So then you have to see the trade union is also there. There is maintained under what are the regular regulations that is are maintaining or not. So that is the things are what are the minimum wages as per the act, it is implemented or not. And social security, also the state insurance policies, compensation packages, and that all these act are followed or not. Then you have many. Basically, you have to follow these things. Then employment exchange pattern is there. From there, exchange it is inclusions of the compulsory notifications should be there. So for that, if you have any vacancies there, you have to notify the things through this employment exchange so that the talent people or the employee can apply, the applicant can be applied for these things. So all these things are dynamics of the basically the labor market. Now, important of the understanding the labor market dynamics. So there, the understand the labor market of India especially. Then informing the policy design, enabling the effective labor market responses, supporting the economic growth, reducing the inequality and the poverty, then ensuring the social stability. So these all are the part of your labor market dynamics, or you can say this is the way the matrix will be formed. Then some of the key institutions, which are the companies are institutions are already implemented or involved in this process. There's the government policies, trade unions, employee association, education and training institutions, global economic conditions, and informal institutions. All are the basically institutions which are influencing all these things. Now, minimum wages, the policy is there, that act is there, wage act, as per the labor law, that is 1948, it has been formulated. Then social security, they are as per the act, that is 1948, and after that the unorganized workers social security, that is Act is 2008. These are all these acts are to be memorized, and you have to keep in mind during the exam. You have to write all these things, because if this type of questions is coming, definitely there will be impact. If you are not writing the act, I mean the actual act, then it may be it cannot be compromised. The questions should be, answers should be correctly. You have to write all these things. Then skill development, again there is some missions as the launch 2015. These are all of the milestones, and some of the figure I'm giving. Make in India, there is another thing, attract the foreign investments, FDI, as you know, and create the employment opportunities in India. So all are the things are there. Now, EPFO, as we know, the some of the security, it is only part of the social security system. EPFO pension, basically the pension thing. Employee Provident Fund organizations, then EPA, EPSI, the ESIC, then your MPS. These all are the after the retirement, you should have a sort of sufficient money so that you can carry over your balance life happily, at least need not to depend on others. So some pension schemes, some of the security should be there. Minimum wage laws, skill development programs, that's the employment generation programs, that is your MIGREGA, that is your Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, and the Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program, that is PMEGP. These are all are the initiatives are taken by the government. Then some factors that influence the labor market participation, that is then, and the outcomes in India, that is your education, gender, organizations, information sectors, and technologies, all are the factors are there for the labor market participation purposes. So, employment rate, as per the survey, it is then the 40% of the working age population is in employment. As per the 2021, that is INR, that is Indian rupees, 22,500 approximately. Formal sectors. Now, unemployment rates around 7.8% of the labor force unemployed as per the your 2021. That is a forecast, I think. Then informal sectors, around 90% of the workforce are employed in the informal sectors. So this is all of the some of the database, some of the data. Then skill mismatch is a very important, because there is a significant skill mismatch in the Indian labor market. Most of the cases we are not getting the skilled employees, the skilled persons. So that is one of the challenge present scenario. Now, informal sector and the GIG gig economy, those who are really interested and to give us some free hand to do something as per their wish. So that this is also growing, but that all the most of the organizations are giving focus on the your gig economy cooperatives also. So that is the important segment where we can look after. Then informal sectors, that are digital platforms and the technology, as I said, the challenges faced by the informal sector workers, then your low wages, limited job security, poor working conditions, limited access to social protections, and discrimination and the exploitations, and limited access to education and training. So these all are some of the sectors where we have to more emphasis is required, more area are to be look after and see how best we can do it. Now, state of the human capital in India, that is the challenges. That education is one important part. That is the skill levels, because not only what are the human capitals, how to develop. So we have to focus on the education, because through the education only we can achieve all these things. Skill development and the human capital, that is a critical component of the human capitals. That is knowledge, skills, abilities to contribute to economic and social development. Now, some initiatives are also there, and apprenticeships, training and programs, the certification schemes, all are already implemented. Some of the companies are already adopted the things, and most of the public sector undertakings, they are already adopted. It also includes a focus on digital skills also, because which is very needed now, as on date, with initiatives such as the Digital India program, aiming to promote the digital literacy and enable the access to digital services. What are the digital services? They can easily do it, especially in the banking service and other things. Then emerging the trend in the your Indian labor market, that you have to see. What are the things emerging? The digitalization is one of the emerging market. Then your automations, robotic systems, or maybe some of the green economy. These are all the trends is going on. Most of the company organizations are thinking about these things. A lot of seminars are already going on Demographic changes and your risks of the entrepreneurships is all are the area where the emerging trends are going on. Then policy response and their implementations for the future of the work in India. What are the policies are responding in response in this scenario? There is a upskilling and your reskilling program. That is one of the program is going on for how to upskilling the peoples. Social protection policies, then your innovation and the entrepreneurship policies, green economy policies, labor market regulations. These all are the listed some of the areas, the future work in India. From this area, definitely a lot of employment opportunity are there. It will generate a lot of employment. So that's why you have to focus on this. Now coming to another job analysis. Job analysis, basically we can discuss about your how to start the work. First of all, you have to collect the data. Then based on this, you have to analyze the things. You have to fix for the restrictions, and after that you have to make some specifications. So job analysis is important. It is a big task for the organizations before doing the any planning. So job analysis is very key issue. The grassroots levels, basically, where you have to collect all the things, understand the things. Though that's why some of the steps are there. First is information you have to collect it for the job descriptions purposes and job specification purposes. The second is the designing and implementing the performance management systems for this based on this data, the job analysis data. The third is identifying and addressing the training. What type of training is required? How to develop the things that you have to identify. Fourthly, you're determining the compensation and the benefits of the employees. How much salary should be there? How to fit for these salaries for this particular work? What type of amount should be fixed? That all this part in the fourth stage. So components of the job descriptions, you can typically say the job title, then the job summaries, essential job, functions, knowledge and skills required, physical demands and working conditions. These are all the listed things should be within the job descriptions. Then your specifications. Now job specification, what are the components? These components are educational requirements, what type of qualification is required, then your work experience, technical skills, personal attributes, physical requirements, other requirements. These all are depending on the case-to-case basis what type of job is this. So these are all the components. The job descriptions, what are the things? You basically outline, you can see you have to outline the thing, duties. You have to specify the duties, what to do. Then what type of responsibilities you should have, manager, what are the things are there, and the requirement. So in the particular job, while the job specifications, their knowledge, skill, and abilities, it should be mentioned, required basically for successful job performance. Then for the foundations, for the creating a job specifications. Then job analysis, the method. There are so many methods are there for job analysis. That is your first things you have to interview, then observations, then questionnaire systems, and you have to survey for these things. Report you have to comply with all the reports. Then what are the critical incident technique you have to use it. Then job performance analysis is another part, and finally work diary and log. And from the logbook you can see it. So these all are the methods. From there you can collect the real data for the further use. Some of the key steps for maintaining and updating the job analysis information. Suppose the information is there. Now, how to upgrade, how to keep it is involved for the maintaining the things. This is also important. Data is changing, so it is dynamic natures. So that's why you have to conduct a review. A periodical review is there, so that you can update what are the you have getting feedback and the stock use the performance feedback, analysis, job trends, description and specifications, and use the data analysis software. So this is all of the steps to maintaining the things. Recruitment and selections, then some of the key steps are select the qualified candidates, then conduct a job analysis, develop a job descriptions for this, then develop job specifications and evaluate the effectiveness of the job descriptions and specifications. These all are basically the analysis part. Now, job analysis, some of the tools you have used for effective performance. The some of the key ways. What are the way you can measuring the things? A performance can be done. That is the result of the job standards. First things, the job standards, and you compare with these job standards. So develop the performance metrics and identify the performance gaps. What are the gaps are there that you have to identify? Develop performance improvement plans. But finally, when you are achieve the gaps, then based on this you can performance the plan also. Provide the feedback, then compensation and benefits accordingly. Determine the job work. So and so. Finally, now tools are there. What are the tools for learning and development? That is some of the keys ways are for learning and development. Is identify the training needs. What type of training is really required? Develop the training programs. Then you evaluate the training effectiveness. Develop the career development parts, plans, and identify the succession plan, etc. So it's all the essential part of your training and learning and development. Now the future of this area, some future we have to see it for the emerging trends. That is the use of the technologies, how to utilize the technologies, how fast we can adopt the technology. That is one of the things. You have to adopt the things. Then focus on the skills and increase the flexibility, emphasis on the diversity and inclusions, and focus on the employee well-being. So well-being in the health-wise or other way, mentally, stress should be reduced, there should not be any conflicts. So that is a well-being situation. Yes. So this is the way some of the future trends for the job analysis purposes. Now, unit number 4, that is human resource demand analysis. So there actually you see the human resource forecast. Some of the forecast is there consistent, constituting the and fulcrum of the HR planning process. And then there you have to some of the important of the HR. Some of the verticals are training and development. This is very important things, and succession planning, and talent acquisitions, and managerial appraisals. These all are the basically important for the HR verticals. And to ascertain the HR demand, there are 3 important factors. What are the things? The submit the estimate for the manpower requirement, then HR demand estimate, and HR demand forecast, and to incorporate the future changes. These all are the 3 important factors. Now, quantitative methods for the forecast, there is how to forecast the things. There are some methods are there. Trend analysis is one of the method. Another is a ratio analysis, and then the regression analysis. There are 3 analysis parts there. Trend, ratio, and regressions. All are very trendy. Mostly all are useful tools are there. Through this way, this method, you can quantify the things. Then in a regression analysis, basically there some of the variables are dependent, some of the variables are independent. So you have to analyze this through these correlations. You have to identify which are the things are unknown factors. So then you can have a better idea, better decisions you can take it. So regression purposes the linear relationship between the independent variables and or we can say the anticipant and the dependent variables of the outcomes. So there are some of the formulas are there. Simple regression process y is equal to a plus bx. Here actually there is that two variables are known variables, and other things are you have to calculate. I mean, you have to derive the things from these equations. So in this case, a, y, and x are available. Maybe the comparison data you can available, but based on this a and b variables you have to identify. So this is the way of the analysis. So another thing is cohort analysis also there. So then your wastage analysis also important part. So these all are the short questions you can make it from the time of exam. Then your qualitative methods. Then some of your forecasting purposes, demand forecasting. There are some techniques, the Delphi techniques, And Delphi is the based on the expert views, because all the experts, they can give views and they can predictions based on their experiences, and they carefully design the program or the sequential and the what are the sequences of theirs and individual integrations. The Delphi techniques are very popular. Most of the company are adopted for these Delphi systems. And there are time stages on these techniques are defined the issues and questions of the HR department, then identification of the orientation of the experts, the nominal group techniques are also there, then defining the issues, time horizon of the focus, then your preparation of the initial demand estimates, discussion in your demand estimations. These all are so many ways are there. You can prepare that your demand forecasting can be done. Most of the things are useful. Then scenario forecasting, another things are the scenario forecasting, what are the unlike and prior to methods relies on the qualitative inputs from the line managers and the HR managers in developing their future demand forecast. So identification of likely scenarios over the next 5 years. So this scenario can be optimistic, assessment of the organization's preparedness for any scenario. So that's why the name is the scenario forecasting, because you have to, in a long term, in a 5 years perspective, you have to see all these things and you have to derive your weakness, strength, you have to assess all these things and what are the opportunities, threats, everything as per the SWOT analysis, SWOT. That also part is taken. So you can these things. So for each scenario, we develop an assessment of the HR requirement to meet the threats and opportunity. So that analysis about this forecast is required, very much required, to focus on the what are the opportunities that there. At the same time, what are the threats are there. Parallelly, you have to see it. In better way, you can demand analysis can be fulfilled. Now, determining the HR supply. Now, supply part is there. The supply forecasting techniques are qualitative, and there are some techniques are there. That is skill and the management innovations, inventories. What are the inventories that you have? That also things as management inventories, skill inventory in an individualized personal account on every employees except those in management or professional positions. So balance everything up to database. I mean the inventory you have to see where you are now. Then based on this, some of the techniques are there. There's the markup models are there. Through this way is popularly for the supply operation purposes. Again, in the markup models, there are 5 options are there. The remaining of the current jobs, then promotions in the higher grade, and then your transfer in the jobs. So then, based on all this data, you can prepare. You can forecast the things. So I think some of the steps are there. The 3 major steps in the market analysis. First, second, third. There are some steps. Based on this, you have to analyze the things. Movement analysis is another part. The movement analysis is a technique used for analysis the ripple movements or the effect of the voluntary or involuntary attritions when the people are in organizations. So movement analysis helps the HR planner to maintain the balance between the internal and external supply of the manpower forecast. Through this analysis, you can guess how much people are retained, how much people are already leave the organizations. So that ratio and parallel competitive comprehensive figure you can derive. Now, another thing is the vacancy models are there. So I'm not going in details of the things. They are available. Now, linear programming is another methods are there. Through this way, you can identify the linearity, and this is based on this the case of your non-linear or quantitative programming approach. This is also used for the decision making purposes. What are the assumptions are there? That based on these assumptions, you have to calculate with the final figures, and you have to derive some a lot of alternatives. Alternative 1, 2, 3, Some sort of your hypothesis purposes also you can utilize for repeated initials. Demography changes, then social, cultural trends, the technology. It is a tremendous technological upgradations because you see the rapid digital adoptions, especially after the post your pandemic, your COVID-19 that we have seen, labor mobility and your state of the your state of economy. Now we have to see some of the your SWOT sweat analysis purposes where the things you have to identify. You have to, it is again required for the forecasting purposes, for the staff requirement purposes. Possible changes, if any changes are required concerning the productivity, efficiency, and the feasibility of the workforce and the impact of the training and development. Everything can be achieved from this your process. Then what are the variation of the employment and your they think all these things are through this your analysis, your weakness, opportunities, and threats. You can have a idea. So that is overall some of the human resource. I can say the management systems. I can see, and if required, some of the changes of the policies enforced by the government. For example, sometimes it's also you have to consider it. Now, some of the important forecasting is forecasting benefits. What are the benefits? Basically, the business, allowing them to take better informed business choice and formulate the data powered strategies. So, predicting the future enables a company to be proactive in receiving the change instead of the reactive. So, this is the way we can ensure or can secure the future of the company. Basically, how can forecasting make organizations excel? That's the question. Before are the three ways forecasting added the excellence. It helps your goal setting of the plan, then help in budgeting, and help in anticipating the changes. What are the changes that you can anticipate it? So all are the part of the benefits also. Then mapping. Mapping basically you have to map out and you have to allocate and diagramming available human resources, the term of their strength and their expertise that you see and minimize the organizational gain and benefits to the users. Maximize the organizational gain. So when you know the capacity, their competency levels, skill levels, then you can accordingly you can calculate these gain and the benefit of the users. Is improve the circumstantial awareness of the organizations also. So here actually only one of the part is your awareness, because when you are in the process of preparedness, so awareness is very important. Then only you can have a competitive environment. So understanding of the human resource in inventory, then to ensure the smooth functioning for the business, effective and strategic inventory allocation is persistent. Allocation of the right talent and the skill set at the right place, the crucials is required for the inventory management. Skill assessment and inventory things, step of the human resource plan mapping, these all are part of your mapping. Now some steps are there. There are 10 steps. First, second, third, fourth. There are so many steps are there. First, you have to evaluate the visions and mission. Then you have to prepare some of the policies for that. Then you some planning for the what are the resources you have. Then how to acquisitions of the right talent, maybe through recruitment process. Then planning the HR succession process where after 5 years where they will be manager, chief manager, DGM, GM. So you have to that succession process should be there. And if somebody is leave, what type of people are really available or not to take this responsibility. So this is all are the succession process part. Then your management of the performance, and then your taking care of the statutory compliances and designing of the human resource management. So all are taking management of the existing process. So all are basically your different steps for the mapping purposes. Some of the factors are also there in their assessment of the manpower profiles. The important mapping, manpower mapping. This is your vital to managerial decisions making, efficient optimizations of the resources, motivations, better relations between the employees. All are high productivity. These are the important part of your manpower mapping. Now, some of the formulating of the HR plan. So formulating the HR plan, this HRP is a systematic process of predicting the future demand. So, formulation of the HR process, then there are some of the two extreme points are there. There's falling into the shortcoming and the your short-term decision makings, and another is your ambition or looking from long-term basis. There are two aspects, two area, two way you can uh, think about it. Basically considering when you are formulating the HR, these two area you have to consider, keep in mind basically. Then some sort of models are there. Here the is given the diagram how to formulate things. Then first things will be related to your information, prior knowledge, work, and then after that it will be your selection. You have to selection the HR strategy, and when you are select the strategy, then you go further for the profiling the things, strength and flaws of the every possible strategic decisions. Then finally, you have to best possible HR strategy you have to adapt it, the highest feature. So these are some of the process is given how to formulate the things. And this is also part of your things. Then now analysis part, it is again repetitive. Basically, SOWOT is very important for the HR planning purposes. This positive discrepancy. Then your HR grant strategy. Again, there are three more analyses are there. You have to see the weakness and opportunity, trade ratio analysis, then your portfolio analysis, and as per the BCG, there is a Boston contingency group in the matrix. They have also have some methods are there. Through this way also you can prepare the strategy. Then I can go far. Yes, that is already planned. Now, human resource management is audit. Now, coming to audit, because audit is very required for the for strategic plan purposes. Through this audit, it is a guarantee to planning for the HR process, because this HR process is okay or not. But the HR process are in line with things, or everything are considering or not. That audit will give you some of the feedback, give you the some of the sufficient report. So based on report, you can automatically decide yes, planning are okay. So sufficient, and then framework, so timely review and the monitoring of the business economy is ensuring the appropriate assessment of the critical process. The following points are critical for the periodic review of the audits. Some of the points are there. The orientation of the HR department objectives, some of the KSF, that is the key success factors, then your some departmental vision and missions, objectives, and your environmental based practices. All are, things are there. And communication part and efficiency, is everything are by the through this review are required by the audit teams. Then real-time problem gave rise to the intention of the diversifications, because what are the things are going on, and based on the real-time data, I mean, you can decide numerous product lines. Then what are the product lines are okay or not? The service offering, based on this everything can be available, and options available in the clients. So that is that analysis is very important for so that you can take the HR decisions very quickly in a micro level, areas. Life cycles, another ensures both the management, both the employees and the employer benefits. So life cycles analysis is also another things. It will ensure the things. Yeah, it's collaborative, you have to do it. So some of the stages for their your employee cycles is attraction, then your recruitment and onboarding. After that, when you are joining in the organizations, then after that you take over and you can start the works, and then development and retention of the careers, then separation if you leave the organizations. So all these things are the different stages. These all are totally employees circles, life cycles. Human resource activity report, then your performance monitoring, then your trying the HR practices to the business, and finally for your foretelling effects. What are the effects of this? So prediction purposes. Then five ways of the measurement. There are some of the measurement systems are there. Then your measurement of the activity targeted, then your every activity some expense will be there. That also you have to see. Then different steps are there. Recording, you have to record the things, all the works, linking to the goal of the organizations. That what are the works that is really linked with the goal or not. To quality was the innovations, productivity, and the services in terms of this. In terms of all these things you have to see. Then comparisons of the results. Then you're comparing the business practices, industry-based practices. You have to see to benchmark the things. Yes, we have achieved this much, and then you're forecasting the future probabilities. You have to also be. See, it connects with the we know and what we don't know. That situations should have. Yes, we are at par with the things. You have to have some satisfaction levels, some benchmarking levels you have to arrive. Then some of the diagrams are the what are the HRIS, your human resource information systems, where it encompasses them the employee portal is there. It's called the reporting, the benefits of the management, then your demographic competencies, compensations, time and the attendance, then your application tracking, performance management. So all are things are encompasses by the employee portals. Then data aggregation. The data is collected in two different ways for descriptive analysis, analytic purposes. One is the data mining and another is data aggregation. Well, basically, the summarize the things aggregative way. So some advantages there and some disadvantages also there. Advantages is it can add a preventive of the fraud and the reduction of the leaks, increase the efficiency and achievement of the business objectives. Give it, idea. Disadvantages, however, the perspective analysis has a lot of challenges are also there. Then your hypothesis testings. As I said, the regression process, there are some hypotheses are there, and then some correlations. Correlation regards all the data. Whatever the variables are these that you have to manipulate the data. I mean the variables. You have to unknown data. You have to achieve through the known values. You have to achieve these things. A lot of formulas are there. Inter-variables relationships also have to derive it. Apparently see, and it is necessary for the in detailed analysis, such as the regression analysis also there. Talent acquisitions is also important because you have to see when you are tracking the source of the recruitment process, measuring the assessment. This the people are hiring for the right job or not. If anything wrong, then you have to rectify it. So measurement of the your pre-hire quality, measurement of the post-hire quality, comparisons of the pre and post results. So all things, competition you have to consider it through these some of the key factors are there, so that you can talent acquisitions you can achieve. Now, some of the analysis part is there, competency acquisitions analysis. Now we go for classification. There are some of the classifications also we have earlier discussed. There's the attrition analysis, then your capacity analysis. There are so many varieties of analysis are there, specific purposes. It's all under different domains are there. So based on this, we have to calculate, and so that you can have a capacity. What's the capacity as a team, as a process? Then everything can be identified, so that you can grow and prosperous. Idea is all these analyses are required to main aim is to so the company should grow and have a prosperous company. Then your some of the definition for your audit, HR audit. There are verifications, and again the audit is assessed for the purposes for the examination purposes. Process that's again the SWOT analysis and HR analysis, diagnostics tools, helps for the implementing of the matrix bench. Some of the things already we have discussed. So it may be a repetition of some of the areas. So I can skip these things. It's already discussed some of the areas. Scope of the audit also we have discussed. And now see the research approach of the audit. The comparative approach and statistical approach. Then MBO approach is another important. You can get some short question also. Value addition approach is all different approaches are there for auditing process. Now, what are the advantage for the audit? HR audit provides the following advantage to an organizations. Some of the created tools for the control over the HR functions. And then your clear understanding is made about what we are doing and what is our objectives. So all these things are advantage from the audit. So that is one of the question may come. What are the advantage of the audit? You have to list it out. You have to write all these things. Then your limitations. What are the limitations are there? That is also you have to highlight. Then go for your some of the linked methods is there. Or now the accounting. Now we are talking about the accounting, HR accounting. Accounting is also required for your cost, value for the informations of making the management decision. Because when the manager are taking decisions, definitely he will keep in mind the angle of the cost. Cost is one of the main factors. Then for the making the profit of the company. So cost is also you have to see. So that HR accounting will give you that figure out the things. It will then also monitor the effectively, and the sound and effective basis of the human asset control are possible. Then your some development and the management principles, human resource accounting, a process of the management, the cost approach, an economic approach, value approach, then monetary and non-monetary methods. There are so many methods out there. Then group value measurements, various models are there. Likert and the browser models are there. Through this way, you can measure things. And then cost in human resource assessment, that this cost are identified and ascertained to know the real work or the value of the human resource. Various models are there, acquisitions cost, then your start cost and development cost are also important when you are preparing the some of project work or something, hiring the manpower. So that cost also to be considered. Starting, you have to train them for start the cost. So this is the way you have to bifurcate it and summarize the things. Then human resource accounting, the source of valuable information about the human resources. Then you come to some HRP trends are there. I'm just giving you some of the clips which already you have through earlier session, everything are discussed in details. Now here actually I again show you some of the important part. This is the diagram is the important HRP trends. The HRP trends are going on, and which are the areas very important. You have to prioritize the things, management workforce ecosystems and retraining, some of the things. Skilling is also important part. So it is basically all of the pre-pandemic trends we have seen. Now some of the post-pandemic trends are also there. That's hybrid workers is important now, and then working in the metaverse, then your green human resource management. So all of these topics are the trends basically are arrived based on this post COVID. because we have come across a lot of problems we have seen, and that's why we always see innovative ideas are developed and area are trained for the present scenario. Then your contingent workforce will also be now the labor classes are there, and seasonal basis you have to keep it when the things are required. Employee engagement, one of the area is very important because how to engage the people. Diversity is also there. It's not there, but anyhow, diversity is also important. Hybrid work structures. The very important thing is the hybrid work structures because the people can work from home and they can go there, flexible timings, everything are structured. Decentralization of the work is another aspect nowadays. Power and authority, the delegation of the power is important because you have to delegate the powers to allow him to take his own decisions or any benefits. This is the area is a change is going on. Cannot centralize the centralized may sometimes delay and maybe it will be for a small company okay no problem where the particular one product you can control it centralized but the varieties types of multi varieties are there or expanded companies so definitely you have to go for the decentralization works. So this is the way you have to see these all are emerging area. Then implementation of the your things, contemporary trend. Then developing the effective strategies. Then your some of the discussion about the training, development, and the careers. These are all implementing area where you have to. See. Then another objective is the last one, not the least. That is your monitoring the employees' mental health management and can prevent any serious problems they can be having. Because to keep on the mental health is important to peace mind, and there should be any conflict or the stress in the mind. So that is one of the focus area and the very important area for the business. Now, some of the challenges and issues are there. As you know, everywhere the issues will be there, and that HR personnel face different. Every day they're facing a lot of problems. The professionals are facing a lot of issues. So that you have to how to cope up the things. That is one of the challenge for the 21st century. The biggest challenge to for the enterprises how to completely how to create a healthy atmospheres. The strategic partners of the business and HR's jobs has changed, necessitating the coordinations. Different coordinations are required so that better we can perform the things. So there's a lot of research is going on, and due to the globalizations, cutting edge manufacturing techniques, and shifting the consumer demand and the company reorganizations, HR managers are confronted with a number of difficulties. So HR managers are working extremely hard to retain the talent, fulfill the demands on a multicultural company workforce, basically multicultural workforce, and reduce the personal cost. So to fulfill the shifting needs, the 21st century is a flexible workforce mark created by this. Nasir actually 2017 has written that to fulfill the shifting needs of the 21st century, a flexible workforce definitely we have to create it. So what is the his suggestions are this. Then issues and challenges in the HRP basically or the predictions. You have to predict the things because facing the problems nowadays and how to basically the internet and others, the technologies. So this technology you have to accept the things, technology, and predict the things, the business, so that you can cope up some of the situations. And emotional health and employees is also important as a mental health. As I said, mental health issues are developing. Most of the work globally, more is the challenges are there. So people are now more and more sick about these things. So mental health is very important. So to enter the hiring the patterns, hence is seeing a paradigm shift because so for hiring patterns also change nowadays. Earlier it was different now. Things are because of the different issues are there, psychological issues, capacities, there's physical fitness, all of the issues are So it is a hiring system. Earlier it was only the qualifications, if a C is really educated or not. But nowadays it is not like that. You have to see that you're mentally how strong you are. You are capable to do these things, or the leadership skills you have or not. So all these aspects are totally changed when in the board of things. You have your personality. You have to go on for the carry on the things for a long time or not. So only the qualifications may not be sufficient. So then some of the things are following some of the your challenges faced by the your things challenges are there. Identify the talent as for the business development purposes, assessing the employability of the dynamics, attracting the talent, reskilling and upskilling of the talent, and employee retention. These are all of the some of the focus area where you can do it, can explore the things for the so that you can have a better network and the platform. And another thing is the AI, artificial intelligence. You have to enable the services to do so. So this you see with the Facebook and LinkedIn. So now the issues and challenges in this, there's a lot of issues that are strengthening the organization's culture and your flexible work hours with diversity, equality, and the inclusion of the practices. Work life balance is also one of the area. Then your compensation as fixed. Then compensation, then fixed variables, relationships, contractual partnerships. These all are things are your the challenges and issues are there where we have to look after the company. Then your some of the value continuity in their career pathways, the freedom to work remotely as important part because you have to give some deliberation, you have to delegate an authority is important. That is one of the biggest HR challenges we will soon encounter in this. We need to ready to fulfill the demand also. The 2022 is written some bigger challenge. Those are HR professionals. They're ready for these things. They have to equip more, knowledgeable more to cope up the situations. Then post-COVID situations that we have seen among the mental health conditions and lack of agility, uncertainty, employee engagement, managing hybrid work models. So all other varieties post-pandemic challenges are there. Then how to overcome, there are so many processes are there, how to encouraging the continued educations, then you invest the leaderships and effective communications, adaptability, agility. There are so many things are already how to cope up the challenges. So this is also one of the questions which may come, how to overcome the challenge. Then you have to sit out and have to explain some of the, elaborate a little more things. So now this is the way I have to now end the session. I mean, we have completed all the 4 blocks and very all the critical areas discussed. I hope it will be helpful for the review purposes for the students and those who are. And apart from this, you have to take all the before sessions. If you listen and this review portions, then maybe it will be understand the concept will be clear about this human resource planning. Because this is the way now this course is completed now today. MMPH-003 is now completed. Now we have to look forward for the new sessions for new areas. So again, thank you very much. Thanks.